Good afternoon. It has definitely been a long time since my last post. I've changed bikes. The Honda CB600S has gone, and I'm now on a Honda CMX 500 Rebel. It's a 2020 model, it's the SE, and I've had it now for about 6 weeks. I hurt my shoulder many years ago, and of all the things, slipped in the garden while it had been raining and dislocated it. Since then I've had issues with it. I've been moving heavy things or lifting heavy things, and the CBF was getting a bit heavy to manhandle in and out of the shed, hence I wasn't riding it as much. But we came into some money that I didn't know I had from long ago, so I part-exed the CBF on this CMX Rebel, and I must say I'm having a blast riding it. Not only is it about 32 kilos lighter, which means it's a doddle to move around. Its seat height's lower, so I'm feeling more planted, and it's surprising how chuckable around it is on the road. Admittedly, it's not got the horsepower or torque of what the CBF did, but to be fair, I'm not missing all that. For the amount of riding style and stuff that I do, I'm normally just plodding around anyway, and it's got bags and bags of power for me to use the way I ride. When I got it, it had just over 300 miles on it, something like 305 or something. But it hadn't even had its first service. It has now. I've since put more miles on. We are presently at 970-ish, 971. So it's had its first service and it's plodding along nicely. I've since put a SW Motec pannier on one side, and I think it's Kappa is the make, little rack and backrest. The screen is what I got off eBay for a tenner from somebody local, but then I ended up getting the Puig Rebel screen, but it just had too much wind noise and buffeting around my helmet. So that came off and back in its box, and I messed about with this, and I've got it just right at the moment. Not too keen on the actual chrome bracketing, but so as much as I liked the CBF, I'm loving this more. The only real difference I've noticed is when I'm going to work and I'm on a motorway. That's when the extra power would be nice, but apart from that, it's not really a lot of difference I'm missing. I don't need to go on motorway, it's just a little bit faster. When I was looking around for a different bike, I did sit on a couple of Royal Enfields. People said they were quite low, so I sat on the Meteor and the Classic. To be fair, they're nice bikes, but I couldn't flat foot them. They're higher up than what I thought. I looked at the Vulcan S. I didn't get a chance to have a test ride on it, but I wasn't too comfortable on the seating position. A friend at work has just passed his full license and he's bought himself a Vulcan S. We went for a ride a couple of weekends ago around the Peak District, and to be fair, I kept up with him on his Vulcan 650S, and I'd much prefer the actual riding position on the Rebel than I do on the Vulcan. But once in a while it has been not raining today. Sun was out earlier on, so I've not been on bike for a couple of weeks with the weather. So while I've got the chance, we were having a blast. Not sure where we're heading to, just following the road. And I have made the mistake of putting the wrong gloves on. It was quite warmish when I was getting the bike out, so I've got my summer gloves on. It's still quite decent, but I can feel a little bit of a breeze on the back of my knuckles, because they're slightly perforated. The bike came from Sports Bike Factory, which is where the CBF came from originally as well, so it went back to them. I was thinking of selling it private, but I just made an inquiry how much they'd give me for it, and they're only a couple of £100 difference, so I just traded it in on this one. Made more sense. They came and picked it up. I wasn't waiting around for a buyer. I wasn't waiting or having the hassle of advertising it. They delivered this and picked the other one up straight away, you know, within sort of like 4 days of me saying I'd have it and just filling the paperwork in. All done online and over telephone. Can't fault them. Really good. I know they don't always get a good rep. The bike was clean and everything. It had a service. They showed me all, got all the documents. And I even managed to blag a 15-month warranty out of them. So if something does go wrong in the first 12 months or so, it's sorted. It is virtually like a brand new bike, with only having 300 miles on when I got it. I've looked around at some different screens. I quite like the Touring Bat wing type thing the 1100 has. I know you can get a version for this, but it had been taking the SE cowling off. I'm I'm in two minds at the moment. It does sometimes feel as though it's like a motorised BMX. I know there's some custom shops when it first came out did some custom versions, and I think one of them did turn it into sort of like a BMX style with some higher bars and things like that. Did a tracker, it being a newer bike. Just tell me when the bike's moved, it gives me a location via a map, it all links to my phone. Can't complain about that. It's an added bonus if anything does go wrong. Already had a USB port fitted. I might change the exhaust at some point. It doesn't sound too bad, it just looks horrible. When I first started riding, or back into riding, it's about 5-6 years ago now. I got a intercom system. Now, the friend I went riding with the other week had a Cardo. Now, I know it wasn't an all singing, all dancing thing when I got it, but it does what I needed it to do. It's not often I ride with others. When I do use it, it's normally just to listen to the sat nav. It's very rarely I'll listen to music. If I'm going to make a phone call, I'll pull over. But it would be nice to have something a little bit more modern. So I've looked at the Cardo 4X and the Cardo Spirit. Is the 4X worth the extra money over the Spirit or the Spirit HD? I'm hoping somebody can tell me.
Well, folks, unfortunately my camera died at this moment, so there's a couple of pictures of the bike before the screen went on. Hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching. See you later.